Good morning. Today I'm going to be baking with some gluten-free baking flour. I'm going to be using Bob's Red Mill gluten-free baking flour. So we're going to start here with 230 grams of almond milk, which I had mixed 10 grams of flaxseed meal into. I stirred it together and then I brought it to a boil, but you can see that it's very thick and mucilaginous. This will try to mimic some of the gluten in the bread. That's why they use gums and other things in the flour, because there's nothing to really hold the ingredients together like gluten. So this takes the place of gluten. Now that this mixture is cooled down quite a bit, it's about 93 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm going to add 115 grams more of the almond milk. I'll mix that up. And I have some Red Star Rapid Rise yeast. And if you're like me where you rarely use any of the commercial yeast, please go get some new at the store. You don't want to use what you've had kicking around in your kitchen for the last year, because it's just not going to work very well. So I want to use 1.5 teaspoons of the Rapid Rise yeast. It's about 5 grams there. So we'll mix this in and we'll let it proof while I'm getting the rest of the ingredients together. I'll set that aside. I have here 400 grams of the Bob's Red Mill gluten-free baking flour. And I'm going to be testing different flours because I have a neighbor who has a real problem with gluten. And so I purchased some different types of flour, and I'm going to be experimenting with them. I also have this Pillsbury gluten-free flour. And then if they work out really well, I might go ahead and try to make up my own mix of flour. But this is 400 grams of the Bob's Red Mill gluten-free baking flour. So next we're going to be adding 7 grams of sea salt. I'll stir that up. Okay, now I'm going to walk away for 20 minutes so that the yeast mixture can have a little bit of time to proof and to get going and start bubbling up. And I'll be back to finish putting together this loaf of gluten-free bread in about 20 minutes.